From Broadway to the beach. Meet First Presbyterian Church's Director of Music and Fine Arts. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Collector's Cafe and Art Gallery on Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach between 76th and 79th Avenues North. We're focused on the 22nd annual award-winning season of FPC concerts. And we're visiting with its founder and artistic director, Brown Bradley. Good morning, Brown.
Good morning, Greg. Great to be with you again.
How are you feeling 3 days away? The season kicks off on Sunday.
It's very exciting. We are very glad to have Bob Baxter, Kay Sloan, and myself, and Teresa Quintero, and two wonderful ballet dancers that are going to kick off with a program of opera, a very funny opera called Grasshopper Opera with some pretty outrageous costumes, and then some Broadway works from Song of Norway. It's going to be a really wonderful program. I hope a lot of people will come out for it.
Absolutely. You're expecting a sold-out crowd like always. I think you said you still have a few tickets left.
Yes, we still have about 16 tickets for the center and about 100 for the sides. Other than that, the 600-seat First Presbyterian is sold out.
Wow, that is fantastic, Brown. Yeah. Year after year after year after year, sellout crowds, almost all the performances. It's something that folks, locals and visitors alike, should not miss.
Well, we have enjoyed the 22 years of putting these concerts together and see the artists grow. We had 2 years ago the Van Cliburn winner, Olga Kern, who is now about the hottest pianist in New York. We paid $4,000 for her that year, and we tried to get her back this year, and it's $25,000. So we had to go to Charlotte to hear her play with the Charlotte Symphony. But she's playing in Carnegie Hall and all around. She's become just a major artist in New York. And same thing, of course, with Charles Wadsworth, who has the Lincoln Center series, and it's just been fantastic to see people. Angela Brown sang last year, who's a great Metropolitan Opera singer, who's making her debut at the Met this year in Aida. And so if you catch them at the right time and the right price, you're going good.
As I think about that, Brown, of course, you're instrumental in helping to pick, as obviously some of the other volunteers that work with the series, pick the tremendous artists there. How do you have a sense of who is on the cusp of about to explode? I mean, what is it that, do you think something over your many, many years? I don't want to date you yet.
Yes, my many years actually in New York, living there 25 years. I made a lot of contacts. I was with several agents while I was there, and so I have them email me the minute they have some kind of talent they think is going to really take off, but right now they're still at a good price that you can get them. And so I usually go hear them. Either they send me CDs, or nowadays it's so sophisticated they send you a DVD so you could actually see exactly what you're getting.
Oh, I bet. Great thinking. That is a great way, of course, to get in. Of course, when you talk about dollars as reasonable as $4,000 versus $25 would be tough for a concert series here in Myrtle Beach, but at the same time, to be able to get them early on is fantastic.
That's the secret. Yeah,
that's fantastic. You've got an award-winning series again this season, and of course December 10th, another big performance.
That's our big performance this year. We always try to have one outstandingly nationally known, and this is the Christmas in Dublin with the Three Irish Tenors. Yeah. And that will be a program with 14 musicians. They have
14. It's not just the Three Irish.
That's right. They're part of the show. They have a harpist that does a folk story. They have dueling fiddlers. They have just all types of singing, but they concentrate on the Christmas season. Right. And the three tenors themselves are just wonderful. So that's going to be an exciting show.
How exciting. How exciting, Brad. We want to go through the rest of the series, but if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best phone number for those tickets that are still available for this Sunday's performance? Is there a good phone number, or can they just come by First Presbyterian Church to pick up tickets?
That's the best way. When the tickets get down as low as they are now, I would suggest they come by 1300 North Kings Highway at First Presbyterian and get their tickets right at the office. But there should be still some left at the door.
Right.
the Sunday.
Okay, but 448-4496, is that the right number?
That's the number to call.
Great. So they can call and even reserve them
Reserve
right now.
them, exactly.
And if they called now, they can leave a message even at 7:10 here on Thursday morning. Obviously, coming by the office, it's best to go ahead and come by either today or tomorrow.
Exactly.
Since folks will definitely be there in the office. But
That's
448-4496.
That's right.
You mentioned 25 years in New York, obviously 22 years of the FBC Concerts series here, so that's 47 years. Was that, you were in New York right out of birth, or?
No, I was born in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and went to Furman.
Oh, great.
And then the day I left Furman, I went to New York. And I stayed there 1 year and was in one Broadway show and was drafted into the Air Force and became the tenor soloist for the Air Force Singing Sergeants for 4 years. Then I went right back to New York, and I was there for 25 years.
So 4 years traveling around. Tell us real quick about the Air Force.
Oh, the Air Force, it was wonderful. We were 6 months in Asia, and we did concerts in Germany, 200,000 people at a clip, and it was a wonderful tour.
200,000 people?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yes, and the conductor that day of the United States Air Force Symphony, Colonel Howard, decided it was such an enormous crowd and such a big deal, he insisted on being brought in a helicopter, and they lifted him down in a helicopter, and he came right up and conducted the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh my, that's something you'll never forget.
Yeah.
Couldn't get that image out of your mind.
Yeah, it's great.
Even just hearing that now. Well, of course, 25 years in New York City, and was it anything, something about the Palmetto State was drawing you back, though?
Yeah, New York became very crime-ridden in the 80s, and this was before Mayor Giuliani came on, and who really changed that scene up there for them drastically. And so we decided that we would move back down, and I was looking at a job offer I had in San Francisco, and then one in Myrtle Beach at the old Coastal Academy school that was here, the private school. And so we decided to move the family and come on back down to Myrtle Beach, which was a hard decision because at that time my son was 13 and had about 7 national commercials running. He was very hot in the commercial business.
How's that? What kind of commercials?
He did commercials for GE, did commercials for almost every toy you can name, Mattel, and all of that.
How had he gotten into that, Brown?
We just started taking him to some auditions, and they found out he had this peculiar voice where every word was so distinct when he spoke, and they just ate that up, and so he would just get one after the other.
That is fascinating, Brown. Like father, like son, he had obviously his father had no trouble performing, so he had that ability to feel comfortable with cameras on him or lights on him. And
right, my wife and I were in a Broadway show at that time. We did 2 together, and then I did 5 others while I was in New York, and then I did the opera when I was a winner in the Met auditions. So we had a wonderful 25 years up there, and we still go back every summer for about 10 days to catch up with all of our friends.
When was the last time you all performed together?
I believe it was in Oklahoma when we did a production of Oklahoma. We were performing. Diane and Chuck went to New York with us several times, and we had a great time up there when Cameron Adams, who's a little local Broadway star herself, was in Music Man. She took us backstage, and we met Craig Bierko and all the stars of the show, and had pictures taken on the stage, and it was like coming back home because it was in the Alvin Theater where I did my first show with B. Lilly and Tammy Grimes called High Spirits. So it was like coming back home again.
How exciting, Brown. Had you had this, was there something in Orangeburg, someone who helped get you started in performing? Had your parents been performers?
No, we had a wonderful choral director in high school, Frederick Ulmer, and every year we did a big Broadway musical in the old Carolina Theater, and that put the bug in me, and even though I was a pre-med student at Furman, I never used that.
Not at all, not at all. And of course, not long ago, well, maybe a couple years ago, your daughter, Keem, was a guest with us there at the Herald Studio on the former Air Force Base with her with her business, and I can't remember the name of it exactly.
A. Bradley Needlepoint.
That's exactly
She's a
right.
needlepoint designer, yes, and she's doing very well. She has 120 shops in the United States that she supplies designs to, and keeps her very busy painting.
Oh, I bet. She must be. She must be.
She enjoys that very much.
That is wonderful,
And
Brenda.
my wife helps send all of the things out as they come in.
She must be very busy. Well, please send Ashley our best.
Well, thank you.
You know, as we, of course, not only the three Irish tenors, you've got week after week, excuse me, not week after week, but over the course of, it is every year from November through
March.
Through March. Okay, great.
This year we started a new section, all free concerts, called the Promenades, and we will be giving 5 free concerts at that time with 2 wonderful New York musicians, a cellist, Agnes Nage, and then Dee Wu, who will be playing in Carnegie Hall with the Juilliard Orchestra in about 2 months. She's going to come down and play for us, and Jan Hart and I will do some organ and piano works, and Teresa Quintero and I will be doing some movie music and some songs.
Tremendous.
But those concerts are free, and we hope the public will come. We usually have very well attendance because a lot of the snowbirds are here from January to March.
And those are on Sundays?
No, those are on Thursday at 1.
Excuse me, yes.
The main concert series is on Sunday at 4, except, as you mentioned, this week it's at, no, this week's at 4.
This Sunday, of course, at 4. It's the three
tenors.
Irish tenors, yes.
Monday at 7:30.
Monday night, December 10 at 7:30, and I'm sure tickets are already starting to sell fast.
Very few of those left, yes.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, folks need to call then now, 448-4496, even to line up for that. But you mentioned, of course, we've got this beautiful piece, the 22nd award-winning season. I know folks can't really get much out of that, but just know that there's a lot of great pictures and explanations of all the performances in here, as well as the free concert series.
Right.
And those will be on Thursdays at
1.
4. Okay, Thursdays at 1.
And the concerts are always on Sunday at 4, except for the Irish tenors, and they're 7:30 Monday night because we couldn't get them on Sunday.
Aha, yes. You said there's seating for 600 in the sanctuary.
It's actually 525, and you can get about 75 chairs.
Okay.
And when we have the Mantovani Orchestra, we even sell the choir loft.
Right.
People say they don't even mind sitting with their backs to them if they can hear the Mantovani Orchestra.
That is fantastic, Brown. Well, year after now, have you all always been there in the sanctuary of the church, all 22 years?
We have.
What was it that prompted the founding? Had you been involved? I mean, had there been a concert series that you'd done before, or it helped?
Yes, at my church in New York, where I was music director, we had a little concert hall, looked like a little European concert hall. And the first year I was there, I was going to Juilliard at that time, and I had so many connections there with fabulous people and musicians. We started a little concert series. So when I moved down here in '85, I said, told Bobby Wilkes, I said, you know, we have a great concert series in New York. He said, well, why don't you try one here? So we had 2 the first year, then 4 the next year, then 6, and now it's gone into really 8 or 10.
Yeah, almost 10.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Bobby, another Orangeburg native.
Yes.
The Orangeburg duo there.
That's right.
Any other Orangeburg folks that have made the Myrtle Beach area home? Folks that are part of your early clan?
Well, the Rebecca Hines was at one time in Orangeburg, who is the business administrator.
Sure, of course. That's fantastic, Brown. Well, you know, so many things when we think about a concert series. For folks who, just to sum up a little more about this Sunday's performance, obviously, what are some of the things that folks could see for those remaining tickets if they call now or come by the church? What are they going to see? Just break down a typical Sunday performance.
Well, the Classic Quartet, we formed about 8 or 10 years ago, and we haven't done anything in 6 years. So we're calling this Classic Quartet Together Again. We all got so busy. All of us are music directors at large churches, and we had to just give it up for a while. And we primarily do very familiar opera selections, and then we do a group of this time of German love songs. Then we have a fabulous hilarious opera called the Grasshopper Opera in costume that we act out. And then we close with a Broadway show called Song of Norway, which is the Grieg music, and we have two wonderful, wonderful dancers, ballet dancers, that will be helping us with that. And yeah, I think it'll be a wonderful, very varied afternoon that people will enjoy.
Just conjuring up images of the Grasshopper Opera right now, just conjuring up those images are worth whatever the price is.
It is.
Tickets. And, a lot of viewers probably want to know that. Obviously, seeing performances, to get an idea of what the cost is for performances, do they vary performance to performance, or are they always the same price, or
yes.
does it depend on the seating there?
No, I get so many of my people, like I watch for the Metropolitan Opera auditions, the winner,
right.
and the Van Cliburn, which is the most famous.
Right.
As soon as the winner's announced, I usually already have them booked a year ahead, even
Good.
before they know who they are. I know they're going to be fantastic. And that's how we are able to afford as I told you the story of Olga Kern, who is now probably #1 pianist in the United States. We got her for $4,000 and wanted to get her back this year, and it was $25,000.
That's amazing, bro.
And then you go on up to Joshua Bell, who's $40,000, and so it's outrageous the fees that they can command now.
You obviously pass that savings on to folks. So if someone called today to get an idea of the pricing for this Sunday's performance, what are the cost of tickets?
If they get a season ticket for the transepts, $50 will get them into all the concerts.
You're kidding, great.
And the center section is $75.
Okay.
And then we have sponsors for $300 and benefactors $500. This year we added a concert master for $1,000, thinking we'd get no one, and we got 6.
Oh, come on.
Yes, so we said we should have been doing this a long time ago.
Yes, absolutely. 6 folks at $1,000. That is fantastic.
We find out there are a lot of people that really want good classical music here, and we're losing out by not having a wonderful concert hall here. It would really be nice to have.
Absolutely. Coming up on a silver anniversary just a few years away, you're already planning that, aren't you, Brown?
Oh, I really am, yes.
Already planning that silver anniversary, which of course a few years away. You mentioned some German songs on Sunday, and I was wondering about that. Do you have to learn German or other, whether it's Italian or French, for instance? Do you have to learn those to be able to perform those songs, to really get deep into the language, or how do you go about preparing?
You actually do. You coach everyone. All singers have coaches in New York as well as voice teachers, and those coaches are very fluent in their speaking of the languages and teaching. So they make you translate every word, and so you know exactly what you're singing.
Yes.
And even though I've had a couple of years in college of French and German, when I was in Germany auditioning for opera houses over there years ago, you get where you can speak after you're there for a while in phrases, but you definitely have to know what you're singing about. It's not just like memorizing words phonetically and just giving them out. You've got to know. So that's why we always put translations in when we're going to sing in a language, so people know what you're singing about.
Good. So folks will get programs on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. Have all the words in.
That's wonderful. You know, when you think about performers for yourself, Brown, that have gotten you excited, other performers both on a regional, national, or international side, are there folks that really tickle your fancy?
Well, fortunately, when I was at Juilliard, I was able to go to a wonderful master class by Pavarotti, and that was one of the highlights for me to see him, and a lot of other singers. We were recently in Charlotte to hear Renee Fleming, who is the big going soprano at the Metropolitan and all over the world now, and she gives master classes also, and those are the things that everyone tries to get in on in New York, are the Marilyn Horns and the Pavarottis and the Domingos, when they'll announce like once a year they're going to give a master class at Juilliard. You want to be there and catch them.
I bet. A lot of folks probably want to know, how do you prepare for a concert? Let's say, how will you prepare for Sunday's performance? Is it just purely natural, your ability to really pipe it out?
Well, you spend so much time taking voice every week and coaching lessons in New York that you build up a very strong repertoire of songs, and then you just I have like 3 major recitals that are ready to go anytime.
Right.
And I just take some from one, some from another, and so forth.
But I mean, your voice itself, how do you, I mean, what are things you do? Do you massage your throat?
You
drink or eat certain things or not eat certain things?
Well, I try not to eat 3 hours before I sing.
Right.
But primarily it's just keeping a lot of water in you. So that's one of the best things for singers is a lot of water. And then of course every day for a half hour or so I do vocalizing. You have to keep that up, particularly as you get older, as I do. In New York you don't have to worry about that because you're singing most of the time.
Right.
When I was doing the Broadway shows and some operas up there, you're singing 3 hours a day in a show. You don't have to worry about as much warming up. You're just automatically warmed up.
And this would be the same for Kay Sloan and Robert Baxter as
Kay
well? I mean,
sings all over, right, and Bob does too, and Teresa, of course, is playing all the time.
How exciting. How exciting. That's fantastic. Brown, let's go real quick. We've just got a couple of minutes for viewers who may not be available this Sunday to see the performance or may not even be in town in mid-December. Some of the other performances, if you want to just skim through those.
Okay.
I'm sure you know them all by heart, but
Yes.
January 20th.
Right. We have on the 20th a group coming from Salzburg. It's called the Ensemble Salzburg, and they are going to be playing, for the first half, all the music from Mozart's comic opera, which has tunes you'll know even though you don't even know what they are. You've heard them so much from TV commercials to concert stage, from the Magic Flute.
Wow.
And then the second half they will be playing a program of varied composers, but also more Mozart, because that's Mozart's hometown, Salzburg. And they're a fantastic group. We have had the cellist in that group here before as a soloist, and he is the principal cellist with the Salzburg Orchestra that tours the United States once a year. And so that's going to be a very exciting concert of some wonderful piano, violin, cello, and flute. And then we have this Chu Fong Huang, and a lot of people say, I'm glad you're pronouncing that. But she is so beautiful, and she was the finalist in the Van Cliburn competition last year, and she won the international piano competition with the Cleveland Orchestra. And she's coming down, going to play a great program.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Of course, we've got
the Freak Promenade Concerts are bringing another famous Chinese pianist down that is making her debut in Carnegie Hall next week, Di Wu. And Teresa Quintero and I will be doing music from the movies and some Italian love songs. And then in February we have Agnes Nage and Philip Powell from the college. Agnes is a New York-based cellist and a fabulous player. And then Jan Hart and I will be doing organ and piano works.
And again, all this there at the Sanctuary. Very easy to find for viewers who may not have been our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina. If they're just coming on down 501, they're going to take a left here on Kings Highway right out front.
At 13th Avenue and Kings Highway.
It's right there. Very easy to find. 13th Avenue North. Okay.
Then we're having a celebration of Broadway on April 27th at 4.
Fantastic. Okay, well, great. You know, as we think about so many performances over some of the changes that have been made, any special changes or improvements over the last 22 years, Brown, things that stick out in your mind, things from the first couple of performances that you've continued to improve for people who may not have been in the last 5 or 6 years? Is there something different they're going to see, or even first-timers?
Well, I think the tenors from Dublin will be a definite first, and the group from Salzburg will be a chance for them to hear a first-rate chamber group, world-class chamber group, and the pianist. But we try to keep the concerts fairly the same each year, with a chamber group, a wonderful pianist, or then a major group like Mantovani, or the Lincoln Center group, and that kind of thing. But I've seen the concerts change primarily in numbers who attend. We started out these promenade concerts, which used to be called Organ at Noon, with 60 people. Then the next year it was about 90. And last year, January, February, March, we had 350.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and so they're catching on. It just takes a while.
That is tremendous. Well, free concerts, that
right.
spurns a lot of interest there. 448-4496.
That's the number.
And if folks call, that's obviously the First Presbyterian Church number. And one other thing you highlighted is this is not a First Presbyterian Church event. You all are a 501c3.
Yes, we have our own charter. We're just very thankful to the Presbyterian Church that they let us use their space and their instruments.
Right.
And that's very important when we get grants, particularly the city grant, which we're so thankful for that we get every year. They really help our series out.
The city of Myrtle
And the
Beach.
Chapin Foundation also gives us some help, and the Hearn, Britton, and Martin.
Yes.
And this year we added one. Crescent Bank is going to help us with the Christmas from Dublin. So we're really appreciative to those groups.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Brown. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, and thank you
this.
for all your promotion of the arts.
Oh,
we appreciate that, Greg,
That's
and
very
all that
kind.
you do in the city.
That's very kind. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Brown Bradley, the founder and artistic director of the FPC Concerts, coming up next. If you've got any kind of imagination, you've been imagining just like me the last 30 minutes when Brown talked about the grasshoppers, just the grasshopper opera, the thrill of being out this Sunday. $10. He didn't say it when he was talking about the $50 for the season tickets because it's such a tremendous deal when you think about the $25 for the three Irish tenors. The three Irish tenors, you got to get out there. Of course, that's December 10th, but this Sunday, 4 p.m., this Sunday, 4 p.m., the amazing kickoff performance. They're getting back together. You got to get out there. 448-4496, 448-4496, or pop on by the church at 1300 North Kings Highway. Get out there. Just think about it. The thrill of being out for the cultural event of the year, the FPC Concerts, 22nd award-winning season. Get out there.